cold at all? You good? Okay, we'll turn on the propane for a bit. Woo! This is really good. These are not rusted at all, hey? This is how that's supposed to be. Like, that's bad.
It's not pretty.
So, with the valve spring compressor, I'll show it here. This sits on the bottom of the valve to put pressure for the top of the spring here. And once you get this seated, there is little clips inside that kind of hold onto the valve, and the spring kind of holds it in place. So once you tighten this, the spring starts to compress. And then there is, it's kind of like a little lock underneath. You can see it. It's sticking right here. Oh, probably shouldn't give the camera the finger. It's fine. So once this is compressed, this should be easier to move, but because of age and everything, it's not. So you coax it a little bit with some tapping. That comes out. And then, if you did it properly, you get these little seats. So these just put pressure on the inside of this thing, and then it locks into this little notch in the end of the valve and keeps it in place. So you put it back in the same way, just opposite. You release the spring. Luckily, it's not under a ton of pressure by the time it gets to the top, so you don't have to worry too much. After that's released, spring comes up. Here's the old valve seal, which is, well, this one's actually pretty good. The rest of them have been falling apart. Oh, no, there we go. See, it's just crusty. You see? All kinds of broken, crusty mess.
Okay.
Garbage that. Valve comes out. Then you get your valve with, like I said, the healthy little bits in here. And then on to the next one. It's okay, this taking all of these valves off has only taken me a month and a half now.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap between part 2 and part 3.
Winter happened, cold happens, and although I'm more tanned than usual, so that's going to look a little bit weird.
It's the heaters.
It's the fireplace that we have in here that definitely doesn't give off any carbon monoxide whatsoever. You guys get someone professional to buy this thing. They can do it right. You're ruining it. Yes, because no one is allowed to have fun.
Under all of the thousand winds, it's perfect against your door. And the suitors around you will circle your home.
Yes, because no one is allowed to have fun.
The swindler will trick you into loving him. The rich one will show off and buy you a ring. The wise guy will teach you the ways of true love. The thief will sneak through the floor. Will you still remember the name of this guy I need?
So this car has a pretty important history to my fiance's family. It's my fiance's dad's car. He bought it off the lot in 1969 and he's owned it ever since. In around the late 80s, my fiance's mom, this was her daily driver, and she would drive my fiance around, her brother around. She took it to school every single day. This car was not a garage babied car. This was driven every day, and it has the miles to show for it. It has over 200,000 miles on it. Obviously, there's some wear and tear. This car is not a showroom perfect vehicle, obviously, but what the goal is here is to get it back looking as close as it did back in the past, so that my fiance's dad, my fiance, me, everyone can drive it again and enjoy it. We have no interest in selling this car whatsoever. It's going to stay in the family. It's way too important, and it's nice that we're able to work on it and put our own hands on it. It just kind of means a lot more to all of us. So I know a lot of you are concerned about keeping the original paint, which I'd love to do if we could, but the car has been repainted in the past. Once from hitting a deer, from a few street races, I think, that Jerry took it on. But currently, started sanding it down, found that some body work was being done. Someone obviously took something fairly aggressive to here, so we're gonna have to rebond out a lot of this. The only thing on the doors is right down here that we're gonna have to fix up. But the rest of it, the body work was done pretty well until we get back here, when the majority of this is all Bondo. So this is all gonna be cut out, and we have replacement fenders to go over top, so we'll cut it out, re-weld it in. Same thing for the other side as well. So we have the fenders, just got them in, and we'll get on that as soon as we can. So these are the new Fender Skins that will be going in place of the old ones where all the rust and the Bondo is. Luckily, we have a family friend. His name is Ken. He works on hot rods. He's got a whole paint booth. He's helping us with the prep work for the paint. He's helping us with sanding. He's helping us with absolutely everything. So big thanks to Ken for all of that. He's kind of our go-to guy for everything we have question-wise for that. And luckily, so the original Fenders had a ton of rust on the bottom of them. I was able to find a gentleman just outside of Edmonton who has bone stock 69 Mustang Fenders, and they're all fixed up. They're stripped down, so that was an amazing find. So thank you to him. Got the both fronts, and then we got some more pieces. We've got a brand new gas tank because the other one is mostly rust, and we've got our brand new fuel lines right here waiting to go in as well. But we'll basically have to wait for. Got to get all the trim off. Got everything underneath. Repaint the engine bay, and then do the underneath as well. And yeah, then we can start putting the engine back in. So thanks to some awesome people on YouTube that we found. A few comments in a couple of the videos about our 351 Windsor that we found. The deck height on this engine is different than the stock one. So we're actually going to go through and rebuild the original engine. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be happy about that. The heads are currently out at a drag shop here in Edmonton. They are doing new seats, valves. They're just going to go through the whole thing. They're going to tank it. They should be pretty much perfect by the time they get back. The stock heads will be back on. Then once we rip apart the other engine, we will take the block and get that machined as well. Hopefully it's just a hone, maybe some new piston rings, but we'll see what happens when we take it all apart. We can still pull some pieces from this and use it for the other one, but hopefully once it's all back together, it'll be just the way it rolled off the showroom there.
Oh, we gotta take that off.
The torque converter.
Yeah.
How does that come off?
I have no idea.
Out to the mines, on the edge and sea. makes me feel lost. No, it's not the reckless punch of the stones that kills me. It's a definite sign.